The placement of the Hanukkah candles, everybody knows, we take the Chanukiah, the menorah, and we place the candles on the right side the first night. And then the second night we add a candle to the left of that, and we light the left one first, and we go derech yamin. The Gemara says, Kol pniot she'ata poneh. Anytime a person has to turn, especially for things dealing with mitzvot, ifne al derech yamin. That's why when we leave, we take the Sefer Torah out of the Eichal HaKodesh, we go to the right side first. So according to Shulchan Aruch, what that means is not that you start at the right side, rather you go to the direction of the right. Meaning you start all the way on the left, on the 8th night, you light the left candle, and you make your way towards the right, and that's called derech yamin. Although it's a great machloket, there's 3 opinions of how you should be lighting every night. That is minhag Yisrael, that is the custom of most congregations, to start on the right side the first night and work your way to the left, but when you light, you bless on the left candle and go to the right. So a very important halacha that many people are not careful with. There's a halacha in lechem mishneh on Shabbat. I'll explain how this relates to Halakhot Hanukkah in a second. In lechem mishneh, we have 2 loaves of bread. So there's a machloket achronim on which of the 2 you should bless. The Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, writes that you should bless on the bottom bread, and he writes al pi Kabbalah. He doesn't explain why. That's all he writes. The Rama writes that al pi Kabbalah you bless on the top one. So according to the Shulchan Aruch, it's both in the night and day, bottom bread, and according to the Rama, it's always on the top bread. That's the opinion. Those are the 2 opinions. Comes the Bach, the Beit Hadash, Rabbi Yoel Sirkash. He was the chief rabbi of Krakow, where the Rama lived, but slightly after him. And he asked a very beautiful question. He says, I don't understand. You're saying that you should bless on the bottom of challah because of what? Al-Pi Kabbalah? Beautiful, but we have rules. When there's a machloket Kabbalah and Talmud, who do we follow? The Talmud, the Shas Bavli. What are you doing following the Kabbalah if you're going over a simple halacha in the Shas? Which halacha? En ma'avirin ala mitzvot. The Gemara learns in a pasuk in the Torah in Sefer Shemot. It says, En ma'avirin ala mitzvot. What's the source? V'shamartem et hamatzot. The Torah says you should guard the matzot, and it says in the Midrash, mitzvah im nechilta, mitzvah haba le'atcha al tahbitzena. What does it mean? Shamartem et hamatzot. Don't read matzot, rather mitzvot. Guard the mitzvot. What does that mean? If a mitzvah comes to your hand, don't make it hametz. Don't let it spoil. Don't let it slip through your fingers. So if you have an opportunity, one of the famous halachot for this is if a person has a talet and tefillin, and he touches his tefillin first, the Shulchan Aruch and Siman Chafei writes, you have to wear tefillin. Why? Because the reason we put the talit first is because, a few reasons. Because it reminds you of all the mitzvot of the Torah. It's shekula, it's weighed out, measured like all of the mitzvot of the Torah. But it's not a chiyuv, or tadir, ve'eno tadir, beautiful. But if you are going to touch the tefillin, it's going to be zilzul, you're belittling it by pushing it aside. So for that reason, says the Shulchan Aruch, put on tefillin. Comes the Bach and says, wait a second, Rabbi Yosef Karo, how are you saying to bless on the bottom challah? He first passed the top challah, it's closer to him, obviously, and he passed over it, and he's eating the bottom one. That's mizalzel in the top matzah. So his son-in-law, the Taz, very good, the Turei Zahav, Rabbi David Segal, says, I have advice for you. Pull out the bottom challah, and that way you come into contact with it first. You put your right hand on that challah, you should grab it, put it on the bottom, pull it out a little bit. Now it's the first one. You're holding it first. That way you avoid the problem of the Bach. So that's a beautiful advice. Comes the Mishnah Berurah here in Halakhot Hanukkah and says, how does this apply to Hanukkah? If you're now on the 8th night, and I'm standing, let's do it like this for you guys. You're standing on the right side. I have to get to the left candle. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to cross over all 7 of these candles and light the left candle. Says the Mishnah Berurah, it's ma'avirin ala mitzvot. It's a big problem. You want to come do a mitzvah, but you're doing an avera on the way. So you're mezalzel ba mitzvah. So says the Mishnah Berurah, you should be extremely careful and stand all the way to the left. And all the poskim quote this Mishnah Berurah. It's accepted halachically. The question is, and I don't have a good answer for you, if a person already did that and made a candle, he does, and he realized, wait a second, what do? Do I light the first one, or do I light the last one? In Lechem Mishneh, if you didn't do the advice of the Taz, many say to bless on the top one. Because why would you do a chumah according to the Kabbalah if you're going to go over a Talmud? Mefurash. So therefore there they say eat the top challah. Here, should you light the right candle or not? I'm going to give you guys homework. I want to hear an answer from you guys tomorrow.
Question?
Yes.
When you're taking 2 halot,
Yeah.
Right? Don't you take the first one in your right hand,
Beautiful.
and the second one.
So as long as you did that, there's no problem.
So it's really
if you
just
did
the way
that,
how you bring the halot to your.
Chazak Mr. Didia, beautiful. So now I want you guys to give me.
You can take both.
I'm giving you guys homework. You have to get back to me. What do you do if a person forgot, he didn't prepare properly, he was on the right side, and it's the 8th night, and he's about to go over? Should he light the candle closest to him, or should he cross over and light the last candle? You have homework.